아, 네.
와, 소름 돋아.
아이씨. 어떡하냐.
야, 내가 오랜만이다. 야,
나 노래 비슷하는 것 같아.
와, 진짜 너무 떨려.
이게 듣고 있어. 잠깐. 아니야.
네, 야, 수고하셨어요. 고생했어.
Hello everyone. Sorry for the heartbreaking footage I just showed, but it's important for the context. Welcome to Maybe or Maybe Not, a new series on my channel called Rant Time, where I rant about stuff because I'm kind of an opinionated person. Today I want to talk about what the heck happened at the 2021 Grammys, but before that I want to take a small trip down memory lane. Let's briefly go back to 2019 and 2020, where this Grammy debacle started. 2019 was the first year that BTS ever attended the Grammys. They were only invited to host an award for some category. Can't remember, my brain is garbage now. Namjoon and the others members stated that they wanted to return to the Grammys next year, and even perform there. Now we fast forward to 2020. The worst year ever. BTS were finally able to perform, just like they wanted to. However, it ended up being a collab performance with Lil Nas X and some other artists. Then BTS stated that they wanted to have their own performance with one of their own songs next year. Here we are in 2021. And BTS were finally able to actually perform at the Grammys with one of their own songs. And it happened to be Dynamite out of all of their songs. I'll explain why that's kind of a problem later. They also finally got nominated for a Grammy, which is historical. Then for some odd reason, the Grammys changed their lineup of what awards will be announced in the pre-show and the main show. BTS were nominated in a category called Best Pop Duo/Group Performance. I don't watch the Grammys, so I never knew when that category was announced. But according to some people, that category is usually announced in the main show. So now it was suddenly changed to be announced in the pre-show?
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Bizarre. Anyway, the pre-show aired, and when they finally announced who won in the Best Pop Duo category, the announcer said, "Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande Rain on Me." If you watch BTS reaction to that, you'll see that Namjoon literally says, "I told you," and rips out his earpiece. They all tried to clap it off, but they legit seemed very disappointed but also not too surprised. Let me just say that their performance for the Grammys was amazing. They killed it, hands down. I don't need to see any other performances to know that theirs was the best out of the entire show. Now I want to talk about what BTS did on Weverse after they didn't win the Grammy. They all pretty much kept saying that they love ARMYs, and hoped that we rested well because some people stayed up really late to watch the show. They were trying so hard to comfort us because they knew we wanted to commit red rum at this point. Namjoon even posted this gym selfie, I think as an attempt to swerve our attention away from the Grammys.
Wanna see your body, take your clothes off, huh?
We appreciate the picture, Namjoon, but we're still mad as hell. So what happened? If you look up how much Dynamite achieved, it broke many records and had a huge impact in the industry. It even finally gave BTS their very first #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. So why oh why did it not win that damn Grammy? Easy. It was that sweet, juicy thing called racism. At this point, people know that the Western music industry is not, and has never been, kind to artists who are people of color. Sadly, POC artists have to work so much harder than white artists to get any acknowledgement. While a white artist could literally fart into a microphone and win award after award after award. And I'm only talking about American, Canadian, and British artists. Now here we have BTS, who are not only Korean, but they also live in Korea. If you're not American and don't know shite about how America is, it's pretty normalized here to mock Asians. Asians have almost no good or accurate representation in American media. They are always mocked, forced into stereotypes such as being submissive, always being super smart. They all know Kung Fu and Taekwondo, and much more. They're also fetishized beyond belief. This runs super rampant in the K-pop community too. The people who fetishized Asians adore how they look, how they act, how they dress, how they speak in their language and in broken English if they're not from America, Canada, or some other English-speaking place. The people who hate Asians tend to make fun of how they speak a lot, and always assume they are all from China because they don't know or care about other countries outside of America. Let me take the time to admit that I was one of those people back in high school and younger. I used to make fun of Asians when I was a child because I saw it happen so much in media. Then once I got into high school, I started to fetishize over them. Thankfully, it wasn't to the point of wanting to look or act Asian. I'm already Asian because I'm half indigenous. But I did see them as superior because I loved how they looked and acted. I've grown from that now and I want to say that I'm sorry for that. I know better and I will never mock or fetishize anyone ever again. Okay, now back to the video. Sorry. So since BTS is Korean and are from South Korea, the American music industry by default has a massive problem with that. They refuse to understand how and why BTS got as big as they did. They want to chalk them up as only having a huge fan base because they're Asian and they're very pretty, and girls will just eat that shit up. You could tell them a million times that BTS has many supporters because they make anti-sugar-coated, genuine, and encouraging music that resonates with everyone. But will these people listen? Of course not, because they're not a white boy band, so who cares? Now, since BTS is a huge group outside of America and they have a huge international fan base, they're being exploited and used to all hell. Interviewers ask them the most nothing nobody cares questions, not caring to ask them questions about their music and impact. Whenever they post an interview video with them, they know the video will garner thousands and sometimes millions of views. They know their radio show or channel will get way more attention because of how big BTS's audience is. Some interviews are actually good. But most of them you can tell they are being used for clout purposes. The Grammys are no different at all. Since 2019 BTS was being used. They invited them just to present an award. Give them a little taste of what it's like to just stand on their stage. That taste was enough for them to want to perform on that stage. Then 2020 rolls around. Bam! They're performing on that stage. That was enough for BTS to be like,
okay, listen Grammys, we have to perform one of our own songs on your stage and get a nominee, my guys. It would be such an honor, blah blah blah, skr.
Bam! Nomination and performance. Day of the 2021 Grammys. Category they're nominated for is suddenly moved to the pre-show. The fuck? That's kinda odd, but alright.
Best Pop Duo/Group Performance Award goes to Rain on Me by Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande. Despite that song having no impact and broke barely any records whatsoever, but hey, congrats.
I want to note that I have nothing against Lady Gaga or Ariana Grande. I'm literally a Grande fan and used to be a Gaga fan. So they got a nominee, a performance, and on top of that you promoted the living hell out of the Grammys using BTS faces everywhere. And no Grammy for them because why? Oh yeah, because of that sweet juicy savory racism. I love it here guys. This loss hit ARMYs hard because the exploitation and racism was incredibly blatant and with no shame. As I look at Namjoon's reaction after the announcement and then all the posts they made on Twitter and Weverse, I feel that they were very disappointed but didn't want to show it to us. I want to say that, if you want to show your true disappointment in how shitty the Grammys treated you, do it. Write a Weverse magazine article about it. You've called out racists before. Why not do it again? They most likely won't though, because after all of this, they still want that Grammy. In my opinion. Why would you still want an award from an award show that exploits you to try and save their dying show? I know for a fact that the Grammys only allowed BTS to perform their own song on their show because they finally made a song that was entirely in English. If Dynamite was never created, I highly doubt that they would have ever let them perform any of their other songs that are mostly Korean with sprinkles of English. That's literally why back in 2020 they had to share a stage performance with an American artist singing an English song. Dynamite wasn't even a thought back then because Miss Rona wasn't a global problem at that time. Or maybe Dynamite was a thought because Big Hit has been planning BTS's career since the 1800s. To be honest, I don't know if BTS will ever receive the Grammy they so desperately want. The Grammys are just gonna keep using BTS and ARMYs to keep their show from declining viewers, since they've been declining for a while. More artists are speaking up about the Grammys being unfair towards artists who are non-white, so more people aren't paying any attention to them anymore. If they do end up receiving a Grammy, it'll only be because they know that ARMYs want to commit red rum on them for being so disrespectful towards them. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens in 2022. Wait. Unless. Hold on. As the team I want to do a performance next year, and win an award the year after that. The year after that?
What the fuck? Yoongi, are you fucking kidding me? Why didn't you make your prediction more clear? Why did you say you want to win the award a whole ass year after you perform? Is everything going according to your prediction? Was we all mad for nothing? Did I really make this video ranting about the Grammys for nothing? Did I? Am I gonna look like a clown in a year?
Anyway, I am now done ranting about the Grammys and sidetracking into talking about the industry in general. That wasn't supposed to happen, whoops. I don't know if I'll make more videos like this. But if this video somehow does well, maybe I will continue. If any of you have your own thoughts on this whole situation, write it down in the comments. Give this video a like while you're at it. See you next time and sorry for ranting. Psych, no I'm not.
Like dynamite.